Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Jakeonomics. Today, I have a special guest with me. It's been a long time coming, but I'm pleased to have Johnson Joseph. He's the CEO of Peak Fintech, ticker symbol PKK on the CSE, and ticker PKKFF on the OTC. They are uplisting to the NASDAQ quite soon and will be changing their ticker symbols. But for now, that's what it is. So, Johnson, pleasure to have you on. Looking forward to this interview.
Thanks for having me, Jay. It's been a long time coming. So thanks for your patience, and I'm very happy to be here.
Awesome. So let's get into it, Johnson. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey personally, as well as how you got here and what got you started in Peak Fintech?
Oh, wow. Okay. Um, okay. So the company was founded actually a long time ago. We went public as Peak Positioning Technologies in 2011, and initially I created the company as a security a security software company. Essentially, the idea was that if you had a lost laptop, tablet, or mobile phone that was lost, then you could use wireless communications to disable the device, and then use GPS technology to locate the device. Hence the name positioning, right? Peak positioning, because at the time we're using GPS technology. So we started out as Peak Positioning, went public in 2011, went to China because my friend Golden had moved. He's from Montreal. I went to school at McGill University, and he had moved to China in 2008. He's himself an entrepreneur, and he started a company called Lonky Software. Long story short, Golden called me up and said, "Listen, Johnson, there are great opportunities here in China. Why don't you come over? We think that your application would be very, very useful for some of the clients that we have right now." At the time, Lonky was doing a lot of business with China Mobile, China Unicom, and China Telecom. So it was in the age of software as a service and mobile technology. Anyway, long story short, been in China since 2011, tried different ways to do business in China, but we saw opportunities in different spaces. And finally, in 2018, we changed the company's focus to fintech. We saw an opportunity with the at the time, it's still known as the lending hub. It's now known as the business hub. We recently changed the name. So we saw opportunities there to help small businesses who are looking for credit. And long story short, that's how we got to where we are today.
And speaking to where you are today, every Peak investor, including myself, we were saying for months and months and months, like, get your eyes on this one. This one's super undervalued. Very interesting what they're doing. Very, very unique business model, which it clearly was. And now that we've had this crazy run and crazy excitement over the past couple of weeks here with the stock, what do you believe is fair value? Do you think we're there yet? Do you think that this is still flying under the radar? I know what I think, right? But it's not about me, so I want to get your thoughts on that.
Obviously, it's not something that I can answer in terms of undervalued.
Figured not.
All I can say is that we have a vision, and what's happening in China right now is phase one of that vision. The fact that the small businesses have bought into the concept, the financial institutions have bought into the concept. We're getting support in China at different levels, even like municipal government, sometimes provincial level government. So there's a clear need for what we're doing, and how we're using analytics and artificial intelligence. By the way, I think those two fields are changing the world. The access to information data, how quickly we're able to process that information, is going to have a profound effect on a lot of spheres of our society. Now, that being said, China, the business hub, is the first part of our plan, of our vision. Now, what we plan on doing is we plan on replicating this business hub concept into different parts of the world. Now, we already mentioned that we have plans to create a business hub in Canada. We plan on having a hub in the US, the UK, eventually France, South America, Brazil, wherever. So the concept is to basically link all of those hubs together and allow businesses to conduct business locally, but also small businesses, allowing small businesses to be able to conduct business internationally. Believe it or not, we already have interest, believe it or not, from China for Canadian products. So there are certain Canadian products that we take for granted here that would be tremendous sellers in China. And we plan on working with some of our partners basically to open a channel for small businesses in Canada to be able to sell products in China. So again, that's phase one, the business hub itself. But the whole aspect of the data, what we do with the data, how we monetize that data, that's the second part of our vision or strategy that we will be looking to implement once we develop the business up here in Canada and eventually in the US and other parts of the world. Now, where do I see this company going in terms of value? I believe we have not even begun to scratch the surface of where this company can be. I mean, if we're able to execute on our vision, I see Peak as being, well, probably Tenet very soon. I see Tenet as being a global player in the field of fintech and analytics.
Very cool. And speaking of Tenet, why that name change, and will that be paired with the NASDAQ uplisting?
The reason why we changed the name, I know some of our longtime shareholders are going to be disappointed because we have a long history with the name Peak, and I kind of like myself because I came up with the name. But unfortunately, when we became Peak Fintech, we officially changed the name. It was creating a lot of confusion with a financial services company based out of Montreal called Peak Financial Group. Great company, but unfortunately, it was confusing. You know, people were calling Peak Financial, thinking that, you know, wanting to speak to Peak Fintech, and then vice versa. So I had a discussion with the CEO, and we felt it was best. It was his suggestion, but we felt it was best if we change the name. So we went through the exercise of trying to find a new name, and we felt that the name Tenet was a good fit. And also, it just so happened that after we mentioned the name, one of our investors, one of our shareholders, came up with a great ticker, TNT, which I absolutely love, and we decided to go with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good metaphor for what's to come, right? Tenet's going to explode. Yeah. TNT is about to explode, so that's awesome. That's great. So what do you think would be looking at like very minute details now, like what would be the main differences between the North American strategy compared to the China strategy in terms of, you know, just operations?
I would say the main difference is the way the hub itself functions in North America is going to be quite different. When we came out in China, the emphasis was really on helping small businesses get loans, get access to credit, which was a great way to attract them. And now what we're seeing in China is that the small businesses are seeing that they have other benefits to being part of the hub, right? But we're slowly implementing those benefits. For instance, the ability to network amongst each other is not something that is pushed a lot currently right now in China. The ability to advertise products and services throughout the whole business hub ecosystem is not something that is currently being pushed in China. Those are, by the way, other ways to generate revenue for us. Another thing is the market research. Just the amount of data that is accumulated throughout the business hub gives us an opportunity to put together some great market research information that can be shared with our members and could be accessed for a fee from external parties as well, right? So the main difference between China and North America is that from day one, those services will be available to the hub in North America. So the members of the hub are going to be able to advertise their products. They're going to be able to network amongst each other, and they're going to have access to market research and also the funding opportunities.
Cool. And how are you guys going to market yourselves in the North American space?
What do you mean by market ourselves? Well,
Just
we're going to.
market your product, market your business, market your
Right. So
business.
what we're
Like,
going to do is we're going to put forth the benefits to small businesses of being part of the hub. So that's not going to
okay.
change. Now, in terms of marketing strategy, there are different ways in which we can reach out to small businesses. But one of the best ways is to start working with the business associations. We've already started to do that in North America. So there are all kinds of business associations. There's a Retail Council of Canada, for example, which is a huge association for retailers. There's a restaurant association. There's all kinds of associations with tens of thousands of members. And the idea basically is going to be to partner up with them, kind of like let the small businesses know that this is available to them, and then just onboarding them as quickly as possible.
Very cool. So with the expansion in North America, how can you guys ensure that North American companies, their information is going to be secure? How are you going to make sure that happens? For example, are there any special requirements considering your existing relationship with the Chinese government?
Okay, that's a good question. Obviously, like, I mean, what happens in China? All of our servers are in China for the Chinese hub. So wherever we establish a hub, first of all, like, I mean, the servers will be locally, physically present in those countries. Okay, so there's not going to be any kind of like a cross-country sharing of information or anything like that. As far as keeping our clients' data safe, I mean, just like any other companies who deal with sensitive data, right? Like, I mean, whether it's
Yeah.
Amazon or, I can give several other examples. You have the financial institutions, you have to have a certain level of encryption, right? So you make sure that your information is encrypted. What we're doing in addition to the encryption is everything is anonymized, right? So even the employees at Peak or Cubular or wherever, the employees do not have access to the information, right? So what they will see is strings of data. There are codes to everything. So Joe's Pizzeria, there's not going to be any way to easily identify that, okay, you know what, this is the data of Joe's Pizzeria who had sales of like, $20,000 last month or anything like that. So we use the latest in encryption technology. We make sure all of the information is anonymized, even when a business is paired up with a financial institution, until there is a direct contact or an application for a loan, a line of credit, or whatever. The financial institution and the business are kept, I don't want to say in the dark, but they don't know who each other are until they decide to interact with each other.
Okay, makes sense. So this is something, I'm sure you've been asked a million times. I want to ask it in a little bit of a different way. Obviously, there's a big misunderstanding between, the US-China relationship, whereas the Canada-China relationship. Can you kind of just differentiate the two and potentially go into what political factors could impact the business in the States versus Canada, and how you're dealing with any possibility that comes your way?
Okay, first and foremost, we stay away from politics at all levels. Okay,
Yeah.
we're business people, and we're in China first and foremost to do business there. We're helping small businesses become more efficient, have access to credit. We're contributing to the local economy, and we have not had any issues at all with the government in China. We don't anticipate having any issues with the government in China. China is a country of the rule of law, right? Like, I mean, if you're there, you're a foreign entity, you're trying to do business, the rules are clearly stated. We have advisors, we have people that, are friendly, like I said, at different levels of the government. They know we're there basically to help businesses, and they've seen firsthand, the impact that we've had on the communities where we do business. So the Chinese government has been an ally for us as opposed to an adversary, and we expect that relationship to continue. Now, as far as the U.S. is concerned, there's no how can I put this? There's no link between what we would be doing in the U.S. and what we are doing in China. Now, again, all of the hubs are going to be connected. If a small business in the U.S. is looking for a supplier in China, whatever, they're going to have the ability to do that. And that's what we're all about. We're all about business. We don't get bogged down or caught up in the politics at all, at any level, whether it's Canada, the US, or China.
Perfect. Does Peak have any partnerships lined up in North America outside of businesses and lenders that are signing up on the platform? Obviously, I don't expect any names, but if you could just kind of go into that a little bit.
I mentioned the associations, right? So there's associations with, partnerships with associations. We have a couple established right now. We're looking to establish more. Obviously, one thing that we would like to do is replicate what we've done in China with having access to the China Union Pay. So having the ability basically to transfer funds or something like that is something that we don't have right now, but we would be looking to establish those types of partnerships. And just brands and product. As I mentioned earlier, there's already demand in China for certain brands and certain products. So having partnerships with not necessarily major brands. Some of them are major brands. Some of them are lesser known brands, believe it or not, that the Chinese have identified that could be good sellers in China. So partnerships with brands is something that we're looking to establish as well.
Very cool. I know you touched on it very briefly at the beginning there in terms of where you possibly see Peak in the future and Tenet in the future and how it could become a global player. What is your end goal? Like, what do you want people to look at Tenet and see? What do you want it to, what gets you up in the morning? What gets you excited?
Jay, do you remember the James Bond movies?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, yeah. There's always a bad guy, like in the James Bond movies, some crazy lunatic trying to take over the world. That's what we're trying to do.
Is that you?
That's us.
Okay.
I'm kidding. No. Really, what we want to do is, we're having a lot of fun with what we're doing. It's all about helping small businesses. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm always going to have that entrepreneurial spirit. And I have a weak spot, soft spot for entrepreneurs, looking to help as many entrepreneurs as possible become more efficient, take advantage of technology, grow their businesses. That's the end goal for us. And we don't want to limit that to just China or Canada. We think we can help small businesses all over the world, and that's the end game for us. I mean, you have to understand that the clients that we have, right, the value that we bring to their businesses, when they realize it, they benefit. For example, right, we had, I'm not going to disclose the name, but it was press released just recently that one of our clients was able to get exclusive rights to Red Bull, right, for certain provinces in China. That gentleman was so grateful, so appreciative. That's what it's all about, like helping small businesses, helping entrepreneurs grow their businesses, and seeing how grateful they are and how much they appreciate what we're doing for them. So that's the end goal, essentially. So the more we're successful at doing that, the more Peak or Tenet is going to be successful.
Very cool. Honestly, I mean, as an entrepreneur myself who runs two businesses, one is obviously doing J-economics and the other is software tech in the blockchain space. And so I think it's super cool that you do that. I think as we move forward in time, like there's more and more opportunities that are going to end up opening up for entrepreneurs. So for you to kind of be there and be that guide almost, or that entity that makes this possible is something super cool and something I could really get behind. So what do you see as, let's say, maybe 3 risks, and what is the top risk that you guys face moving forward? Do you know what geo-blocking is? Disney Plus or Netflix, for example, they have different movies for each country. Access should not be tied to nationality. Surfshark VPN gives you all of the access that you need. Just connect to the service and refresh the page. Access granted, problem solved. I use Surfshark every single day. It automatically starts up when I start my Mac. And whenever I need it, I activate it with just one click. Use promo code JAKEONOMICS to get 83% off, plus 3 months totally for free. Surfshark also offers 30-day money-back guarantees, so there is absolutely no risk for you. Surf with your own set of rules. The link is in the description below if you want to try Surfshark today.
Oh, that's okay. That's a good question.
Putting you on the spot here.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Up until recently, well, you see, the way we're set up in China, I don't see China as being, a risk for us. People are talking about the government. You're in China, we're in China, but China gets such a bad rap sometimes, and that's one thing we're trying to do, trying to make people understand that China is not this black box of mystery and like, oh my goodness, it's so scary, because it's not. There are people out there, just like us. We have very, very good friends in China, and the country's opening up to the world. So my first inclination would be to say, okay, you know what, the risk is in China, but I don't see it that way. So I'd have to go somewhere else. The biggest risk I would say to us is, I guess, maybe some bigger player, just beating us to, I'm being totally honest right now. Just beating us to the punch and acquiring market share, being in our space. We're still, the space that we're dealing with right now, we're still fairly unique, but we only have, we're only going to remain unique for a limited period of time, right? So the way I see it is, we have to get out there and just capture market share. I know that some of our investors and shareholders, they're looking at the company's stock price and they're like, okay, you know what? If we do a financing, oh my goodness, it's dilution or whatever and stuff like that. That's the wrong approach, Jay. I really think that people need to basically see, okay, you know what? This company's got a great concept, a great model. It's not right now in different parts of the world. They're in China. I want our shareholders to get behind. I want our shareholders to get behind us and say, okay, you know what, guys? Let's just basically don't worry about anything. Don't worry about dilution right now. Let's just get the capital raised. Let's basically set up in the UK, set up in North America, set up here in all these different places, and establish ourselves and basically just stake our claim to the market. That to me, that's the biggest risk. If we take too long and then somebody basically steps in and they start to kind of operate in our space, and then we're facing more tougher competition or whatever, to me, honestly, that's the biggest risk. Other than that, I think we have a fantastic team. Golden in China, who's our CEO, running the show, running the operations over there. I think he needs to be given a lot of credit because of what he's, especially for the past 2 years, because unfortunately, because of COVID, I have not been able to travel, to be physically present, to negotiate some of the deals that are being worked on right now. Although I participate, we have a close relationship, so we talk, we do Zoom conferences and stuff. Some of the partners, they present to me via Zoom or whatever other means that we use. But he's kind of shouldering the load right now as far as business development on his own in China. He's doing a fantastic job. We're going to have to find people to be able to do that in Canada, in the US, and other parts of the world as well. So if we could clone Golden somehow, that would be great. But that not being possible, we're going to need to find some people that share our vision and that are able to execute. If they're able to execute, half as well as he's executing right now, I think we'll be in fantastic shape.
That's great. So you mentioned that some investors were looking at it with a very short-term vision in terms of dilution and raising capital for you guys to be able to aggressively approach your expansion. But do you think that is the one maybe misconception or thing that you would like to clear up to investors, or is there something else that potentially is out there or that you're seeing from investors and it's kind of counterproductive to your thoughts or counterproductive to the vision of Peak?
No, not really. No, I think for the most part, uh, um, our investors understand what we're doing and they're behind us. So I'm not concerned about that. That's really just the only thing that I hear about from time to time is people being worried about dilution. I understand the company's market cap right now. We're slightly, I think we're, I don't know. I don't know where the stock closed today, but we're hovering between 800 million and 900 million market cap. So we're below $1 billion right now,
Yeah.
a market cap company. So listen. I understand the dilution, but as our company continues to grow, I expect the market cap to continue to grow as well to allow us to do to do financings that are going to be less dilutive, but that are going to allow us to create more value for shareholders. So to answer your question, no. For the most part, Barry Ellison, who's the director of communications, has he has his ear to the ground more than I do. So he lets me know like what people are concerned about and stuff like that. And so far, it's really the only issue has been the potential dilution. But other than that, I think our investors understand enough what we're doing to be able to support us.
Absolutely, and I think if you're able to watch this interview and understand the business, and obviously if you're a peak investor that's been following the journey, then you kind of know where this is headed, and you've known where this was headed. But for it's more about understanding the business model, where that business model could lead to, and what the possibilities are. Right, like that's the main point about being an investor. So I think a lot of peak investors are pretty smart because they were able to analyze this company, see this, and stay in this with a lot of conviction during months of quote unquote uncertainty, or weren't sure what's going on. That conviction never left because of the understanding of the business model. So for anybody watching this, I mean, look into it, figure it out, and play it in your head, play that scenario in your head. If they're able to become a global player in this space, like think about the possibilities there. So that's all I got to say on it. Any final thoughts, Johnson, for yourself? Any exciting milestones for this year other than the NASDAQ uplisting, obviously, for investors to look forward to?
Um, yeah, there are a few things. I think we kind of like hinted to them in the MD&A that we put out with the second
Yeah.
quarter results. There's interest right now from different industries, uh, the insurance sector, the steel. We talked about the steel industry, the petroleum sector, clean tech. There are a number of industries that have approached us and said, okay, you know what? Like, I mean, if you could do something specifically to help businesses in our industry, we think it would be beneficial. We'd like to be part of the business hub. So look for more announcements along those lines. There is, yeah, we're talking about brands as well. So we're looking to do something exceptional with a couple of brands, Canadian brands or other brands as well that would be exclusive to the business hub. Certain products, I would say. And then just expansion. I think it's going to be a very, very exciting time when we officially launch in Canada, in the US as well. In the next 6 months, we should be, well, not 6 months, before the end of the second quarter of 2022, we should be in the US as well. So we expect that to be a huge milestone for us. Obviously, like I'm in the north, the Canadian market is great. It's in our backyard. We already have the financial partners, some financial partners, I should say, because we're obviously going to be working on bringing more to the hub. But we have the basic elements to get started in Canada in fairly short order. But the U.S. market is obviously 10 times the size of the Canadian market. So making a splash in the U.S., I think, is going to be a huge, huge milestone for us. So those are the things that I would say that investors could look forward to.
Very cool. Last couple of questions for you. One destination you got to go to. You take a plane tomorrow. Where do you go?
Oh, okay. I'd have to say back to Wuxi, just in case. Just in case some of our friends are. Hey, listen, it's been a while. They're not just our business partners. The guys in China, we have a fantastic team in China. haven't seen them for 2 years now. So yeah, going back to Wuxi, being with the guys and girls that make up our team. We opened new offices in China that I haven't visited yet. So there are some new partners that I haven't met face to face. So yeah, that's an easy answer. Yeah, flying to Wuxi.
Fair enough. It's a Sunday. It's your off day. What are you doing?
There's no off day, Jay.
Good answer, but
it's a Sunday. It's a Sunday. I'm working. People are calling me. So for the foreseeable future, listen, no, really, like, I mean, football season is going to be starting up soon. Maybe, like, I mean, last year I was able to multitask and catch a couple of games and stuff like that. So yeah, that's probably what I'd be doing on a Sunday.
Same here. What's your team?
The Chiefs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Before Mahomes or after Mahomes?
No, well, no. Like, I mean, Mahomes went to my school, so I have to kind of like, cheer for him. But no, they have a great team, so that's my team.
Cool. I'm a Packers fan, so it's that. I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, so since the Brett Favre days, but that's Super Bowl I, baby. Packers Chiefs.
Oh, come on, Aaron Rodgers, you have a fantastic quarterback.
Oh, absolutely, love him. I mean, hopefully the team is good to him this year. And final question for you: you have to eat the same thing over and over again for the rest of your life. What are you eating?
I'm doing that now. No.
Chicken and broccoli? Chicken rice?
No. You know what? Those are some cool questions. I haven't thought about that. You know what? I'll put. I don't know. Can I get back to you on that, Jay? You caught me off guard. So I don't know. I don't have a favorite dish. I'm sorry.
That's totally cool, man. Yeah, next time you come on, whenever that is, I'll hold you to it.
Okay, cool.
All right, thanks, Johnson. So that was the from Johnson Joseph from Peak Fintech, which will be uplisting to NASDAQ as Tenet, and the ticker symbol will be TNT on the NASDAQ when it does. And thank you so much, Johnson, for taking the time. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, getting to know a little bit about the background of how Peak came to be, and looking forward to watching you grind for the rest of the year.
Okay, sounds good. Listen, Jay, I really appreciate it. And once again, this was a long time coming. Thanks for your patience. It was a lot of fun. So hopefully we can do this sometime soon again. Thanks.
Absolutely, man. All right, take care.
You too. Bye.
Just do it! Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it!